She said all men were scum. She said love was a scam. Then, one unexpected afternoon, a tall, handsome man smiled at her, and that smile cost her everything she had ever worked for. Nomvula was tired, not the kind of tired that sleep could fix. It was the kind of tired that comes from hoping too much and losing every time. At 32, she lived alone in a small but neat apartment in Midrand, Johannesburg. White curtains, a couch she paid for in installments, a kettle that whistled like it had a personal vendetta against her every morning. She had been betrayed before, cheated on, promised marriage that never came, left with apologies that sounded like recycled lies. So, Nomvula had made a vow. All men are scum, she would say, sipping Ruby's tea, scrolling her phone. If they are not lying, they are planning to. Her friends laughed, but Nomvula wasn't joking. She buried herself in work. She was a procurement officer for the construction firm. Sharp, disciplined, hardworking. Saved every rand. No nonsense, no romance. Love, she locked the door and swallowed the key. That afternoon, everything changed. It was a Friday. Rain had just finished washing the streets of Johannesburg, leaving that soft, clean smell in the air. Nomvula stopped at a small cafe near her office. Nothing fancy, just coffee and a muffin before heading home. She was standing in line when she heard a calm voice behind her. "Excuse me, sister. Please, is this line for takeaway or sit-in?" She turned and there he was. He was tall, clean haircut, neatly pressed t-shirt, soft accents that sounded warm, not loud. Their eyes met. Nomvula frowned automatically. "Here we go again. Take away," she replied flatly. "Ah, thank you," he smiled. "I am new here, still learning how things work." She nodded, turned back, looked at him, uninterested. But fate had already leaned closer, whispering to Nomvula, "You cannot run away from me now." They ended up sitting at tables close to each other. Nomvula pulled out her phone, pretending to scroll, but she could feel his presence. After a few minutes, he spoke again. "Sorry to disturb you. That muffin, does it just look good or does it actually taste nice?" She laughed before she could stop herself. That laugh shocked her. "It's good," she said, surprisingly. "Then I trust your judgment," he replied. That was it. No flirting, no pressure, no fake smooth talk, just normal. They introduced themselves. His name was Daniel. He said he had recently moved into the area for business opportunities. He spoke respectfully, asked about her work, but didn't pry. When she stood to leave, he didn't ask for her number. He just said, "It was nice meeting you, Nomvula. Maybe I'll see you again." She walked away confused and half disappointed. Why didn't he ask for my number? Why didn't I hate him immediately? 2 weeks passed. They ran into each other again. Same cafe, same afternoon. This time, he smiled like an old friend. "Ah, my trusted muffin advisor, we meet again." She rolled her eyes, smiled despite herself. They started talking more. Short conversations turned into longer ones. Coffee became lunch. Lunch became after work. Daniel listened. When she talked about her past heartbreaks, he didn't interrupt, didn't try to fix her. He didn't even say, "Not all men." He just said, "You didn't deserve that." That sentence melted in her. Slowly, against her own rules, Nomvula's heart started giving in. She began to feel safe all of a sudden. Daniel was everything she said she didn't want. Gentle, consistent, patient. He remembered small things. How she liked her coffee, her mother's name, the joke that made her laugh every time. He never asked her for money, never rushed intimacy, never raised his voice. Her friends noticed. "Nomvula, this one is different," her friend Tandy said one night. Nomvula smiled cautiously. That's what they all say at first. But deep down, she was already falling hard. One evening, while they were having dinner at her apartment, His phone rang. He glanced at it. His smile faded just for a second. "Sorry," he said quickly, stepping outside to take the call. Nomvula noticed something shift. Not fear, not anger. Urgency. He came back quieter than usual. "Is everything okay?" she asked. "Yes, just business stress," he replied. She nodded, but her instinct stirred. The same instinct she had ignored before. Over time, small things piled up. He avoided video calls when business partners were around. He spoke vaguely about his work, always profitable but never clear. One night, jokingly, Nomvula said, "So, what exactly do you do, Mr. Dan?" He laughed. "Complicated things, imports, exports, digital transactions." She laughed too, but unease crept in. Still, love whispered louder than logic. Everything collapsed on a random Tuesday. Nomvula was using her laptop when notification popped up. An email she didn't recognize, synced accidentally. Curiosity made her click. Her heart stopped. Messages, there were women's names, love words, copy-pasted, promises, requests disguised as emergencies. There were screenshots of bank transfers, very large ones, and her hands shook. Nomvula didn't scream, she didn't cry, she just read everything. And in that moment, love turned into ice. Daniel wasn't a dream, he was a professional fraudster. Nomvula didn't confront him, no. She became smarter. She smiled like nothing was wrong, acted in love, played along. But inside, her mind was racing. She checked her accounts, her savings, everything was still intact. She was lucky, very lucky. She realized that he was preparing, building trust, waiting, and she decided, "You will not destroy my life, Daniel." She quietly gathered evidence, recorded conversations, saved messages. Nomvula contacted a trusted lawyer friend, asking for answers and endless possibilities. And that fateful day, when Daniel finally made his move, talking about a business opportunity, hinting she could invest together, she looked him straight in the eyes and said, "I need time, Daniel." That was his mistake. One morning, while he was out, Nomvula packed everything connected to him. She blocked his numbers, reported accounts, submitted evidence anonymously. When he realized the trap failed, he panicked. That night, he sent emotional messages with emojis. "Baby, please, you misunderstood me. I love you, only you." But Nomvula didn't reply. The man who made women feel special had met a woman who paid attention. Days passed. Nomvula didn't celebrate, she mourned. Not him, but the version of herself that almost trusted again. She went through therapy. She begged time to heal her once more. Months passed. She later told her story online, not for pity, but for awareness. Her video went viral. Women thanked her. Some cried. Some could relate to the same patterns. 1 year later, same cafe, same afternoon rain. Nomvula sat alone, sipping coffee. She smiled, not bitter, not angry, just wiser. She didn't say all men were scum anymore. She said, some people are lessons, and surviving them is a victory. Months later, after her encounter with Daniel and cutting all contact with him everywhere, Nomvula thought that blocking him ended everything. She thought that silence meant safety, but she didn't know that when a predator loses money, he comes back for revenge. Nomvula started sleeping better, not perfectly, but better. There was no more sudden phone calls at night, no more checking shadows behind her, no more pretending love was still alive. Her life slowly returned to routine. It was now about work, gym, Sunday lunch with friends. These days, she even joked again. If love comes again, let it knock. I am not opening without a police report. Her friends laughed, but peace can be deceptive because fraudsters don't like losing. And Daniel, he hated losing more than prison itself. It happened on a Thursday night. Nomvula was half asleep When her phone buzzed, unknown number, she ignored it. It buzzed again. She sighed, annoyed. Then the message preview appeared. You really thought you were smarter than me. Her heart dropped. She didn't open it again. Nomvula sat up slowly, breathing shallow. Her phone buzzed again. You embarrassed me. Another buzz. We are not done yet. I won't let this slide easily. Nomvula whispered to herself, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. She blocked the number immediately without thinking twice, but fear had already entered the room. The next morning, she told Tandy. Tandy stared at her, eyes wide. Wait, the Daniel guy? The one with the soft voice and calm smile? Nomvula nodded. Yes, that one. Tandy hissed. Ha, these are the ones that will smile and ruin destiny for you. Nomvula snorted despite herself. Please oh, I'm not laughing. It's not funny, Tandy. I'm serious, Tandy insisted. If he messages again, don't reply. Replying is how they reset their spell. Nomvula laughed, but deep inside she was shaking. Days passed, there were no messages. Nomvula relaxed slightly until she noticed something. Someone was always parked across the street. Different car, but same position. Coincidence? Maybe. Then one evening she entered a grocery store. As she reached for bread, she felt it. That familiar presence, the nice addictive perfume, and an even better cologne. She turned, their eyes met. It was Daniel. No smile this time, just a slow calm stare. Like a man looking at something he lost and plans to reclaim. Nomvula's stomach twisted. She didn't scream, she didn't run. She just picked her bread calmly and left. At the checkout, her hands were shaking badly. The cashier noticed. Ma'am, are you okay? Nomvula forced a smile. Yes, just life. That night, she locked every door, pulled the curtains, sat on her bed clutching her phone. She laughed suddenly, a sharp, humorless laugh. So, this is how horror movies start, she muttered. The main character thinks she is safe. Then, boom. She called her lawyer friend again. This time, the tune changed. Nomvula, if he's back physically, this is no longer a joke. Daniel wasn't angry because she escaped. He was angry because she outplayed him. His ego was bruised. And men like him don't heal bruises, they retaliate. He began subtle intimidation. Unknown flowers delivered. No card or notes attached. Missed calls from different numbers. A note slipped under her door one evening. Just 3 words. I was gentle. Nomvula vomited. Fear can paralyze, but sometimes fear sharpens the mind. Nomvula stopped hiding. She stopped reacting. Instead, she planned. She replied once, just once. What do you want? The response came instantly. Closure. She laughed bitterly. Liars always want closure. She whispered. Nomvula agreed to meet, but not alone, not unprepared. They met in a busy public place. Daniel arrived, calm and confident. You look good, he said, grinning. Nomvula smirked. Prison stress will age you. You should be careful. His jaw tightened. You ruined my system. No, she replied calmly. You ruined yourself. He leaned in. You think you are safe because you are clever. She leaned closer. I know I am safe because your stupid charm won't work on me. Silence. For the first time, his mask cracked. Daniel could feel the embarrassment flooding over his face. Who did she think she was? What Daniel didn't know was that Nomvula had already handed everything to the authorities. Different countries, different victims, some patterns. He was being watched closely, even without his notice. 2 weeks later, he disappeared. The news broke quietly. International cybercrime arrest, multiple charges, dozens of women, millions were recovered. That night, Nomvula sat on her couch watching the report. She laughed, then cried, then laughed even harder. Imagine losing your freedom because you underestimated one tired woman. Thank you for watching. This is African Folktales by Vivy, and I hope you enjoyed this story. Kindly share your thoughts about this story with me in the comments. I would love to hear from you, bestie. What lesson did you grab? Kindly share this powerful tale with your friends and family. Please give this story a like, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel by now, please do so immediately. Much love from Vivy to you. Until you hear from me again. Bye-bye. Bye.